right, so yesterday I was having a conversation with one of you guys in my Discord server where you brought up the great idea of me going ahead and catching all of the brand new secrets in the second sea. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I thought that maybe there was like 2 or 3 of them. Little did I know that there is 10 secrets in the second sea. I don't know how I didn't know this, but apparently there is. To my knowledge, every single island except for the open ocean has 1 secret. The open ocean, for some reason, has a total of 3 secrets. Now, I figured we'd go ahead and catch every single one of these. 1, so that I can show you guys what they look like. 2, so I can show you the progression speed on them. And 3, so that I can partially redeem myself from all of these incidents that I have. Now, the rod that I will be using today is the Ember of Lagoon rod, simply because it has 55% resilience, and I also went ahead and slapped controlled on this. A part of me wanted to be super confident and use the free spirit, but I'm not that confident. I'm gonna be honest with you. That 10% resilience with the not really crazy control that it has, I think I'll pass on pretty much losing every single one of these. Now, of course, the first one that we're gonna knock out is right here in the sort of like little spawn island, being Waveborn. The secret here is called the Storm Skipper. So let's see how this goes, man. It's gonna be a complete surprise to me just how much progression some of these have. I have done 0 research on these. The only thing that I got my hands on was the name of the fish as well as where they are. So again, let's see how this all goes. All right, so there we go. This one is a negative 75%. I'm not really too stressed at all. A lot of these are, from what I've heard, fairly hard to get, except for pretty much the one in Waveborn. This is like the easiest one from what I've heard. Either way, there it is right there. Storm Skipper, negative 75%. This is what he looks like right here. Pretty cool looking, to be honest. Nothing really too crazy. I feel like there's way better ones. The value on this bad boy is, let's take a look here, 8,494. So nothing really too crazy there. Let's go ahead and move on to our next one, which is going to be at Ember Lagoon. All right, so from what I've heard, this one, again, not really that crazy. And I believe he's called a Verdant Mirage. I could be wrong there, though. Either way, let's go ahead and transition over to the moment where I catch that. All right, so here we go. This one is actually negative 88%. I was not expecting that much. From what I was told, this one is a little bit easier. Thankfully, those slashes are sort of saving my life right now, quite literally carrying me. But to be honest, I guess this is where it's not really all that crazy, because the resilience seems to be somewhat tameable. Now, again, to be fair, I do have a 55% on top of whatever the bait it is that I'm using right now provides. So this was definitely fairly easy. There we go. We got a darkened Verdant Mirage. Kind of wish it wasn't darkened so that way I can show you guys what it looks like. But yeah, it's just a regular old fish. All right, so I actually went ahead and appraised it to get rid of the darkened so that way I can show you guys what it looks like. And on top of that, so I can also give you somewhat of a decent price on it. So let's take a look here. It is valued at 20,111. So that's actually a really good one, at least compared to the Waveborn one. All right, so our next one on the list here is going to be at Ember Reach. From what I've heard, from this point moving on is when they start to actually look pretty cool. So let's see. Actually, do I want to go to Ember Reach, or should we just take out, let's handle Pine Shoals first. Since we're technically already here, may as well do this one. So over here, this one is apparently a little bit more challenging, and it is called a Thornfish. All right, so this guy is negative 80%. So again, this one's actually easier than the one at Ember Lagoon. Although I'm gonna be honest, I feel like a lot of these are just looking like they're easy because of the fact that I am stacking such high resilience right now. Anyways, there it is, glossy Thornfish. This one actually looks pretty cool. First, let's go ahead and appraise it to get rid of the glossy. There we go. So this is what it actually looks like. Oh yeah, I definitely prefer glossy more than this. This is hideous. Well, let's see how much it's worth here. 12,209. So still, the Azure one is the one that's holding pretty much the lead right now as far as value goes. So now this time, let's really go to Ember Reach. Okay, so for this one, we're actually having a little bit of a situation here. You can't actually fish inside of the volcano. It just sort of clips through and then the shake goes away. So I'm a bit confused. I even tried putting on one of the old dev rods that has technically like the negative 50% debuff on it now, but this one has invincible on it, and unfortunately it still doesn't let me fish here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so fun fact, you cannot fish on this side of the volcano because it just clips through. But if you come to where the waterfall of lava is over here, you can fish over here. That is super weird. Hopefully that gets fixed really, really soon, because that is super confusing. I was literally about to just spawn in the fish and just show you guys what it looks like, because I didn't know what else to do. Either way, let's see what the negative progression is on this. All right, so this little guy is negative 85%. Not gonna lie, man, he kind of has a little bit of a sporadic sort of bar here, even with as high as resilience as I have right now. So for those of you that maybe weren't using such high resilience, this might actually put up a good fight. Either way, there it is right there. It looks like we got it hexed, unfortunately. But yeah, Hex Molten Ripple. Definitely an interesting looking little guy. That face on it is hilarious. Let's go ahead and appraise it to get rid of the little mutation that it's got on it. And that looks 1,000 times better. I mean, it still has that goofy face on it, but besides that, really, really cool looking. All right, let's see what the price on this little guy is. 6,869. So he's now technically the lowest that we've gotten so far. All right, next one here on our list is going to be Lush Grove. This one is called a Primordial Levy. Nowhere really fancy to go ahead and catch this. You could pretty much catch it anywhere inside of here. I'm trying to look for a place that's a little bit closer to the water. Matter of fact, I think we're just going to go down right over here. My guess is that this one's probably going to end up being about the same thing. We've seen sort of repeated now 2 or 3 times, negative 85%. If I had to make a guess, I would say that probably the hardest one is going to be in the Cursed Island, just because it kind of feels like that makes sense. But I don't know, man. Let's see. All right, so it is indeed a negative 85%. Just like the Molten Ripple, this one is moving around quite a bit. Hopefully it has a much better price than the Molten Ripple, because that one was a bit of a letdown, honestly. Even though, in my opinion, it's kind of one of the cooler looking ones. But there it is right there, a regular Primordial Levy. Honestly, really cool looking. Probably a biased opinion, considering the fact that I do like the color red. But let's go see how much it's worth. All right, so this little guy is valued at 9,702, putting it now at the 3rd cheapest one out of all of them. Now we are moving on to Isles of the New Beginnings. Just like all the other ones, pretty much fish anywhere in the island, doesn't really matter. The only one that technically requires anything is the Ember Reach one, so you're pretty good to go on catching all of these at completely random. If you haven't caught on already, I am sort of leaving like the really, really good ones for last. That obviously being the Toilet Fish, the Abyssal Monstrosity, which is probably my favorite one. And there's also a Dogfish. That one I actually haven't seen. So the only reason I even know about it is, well, obviously 1 from the wiki, but 2, I also know about it because somebody actually showed it to me. They sent me a picture of it, but I just haven't seen it in game. The only thing that I saw was the face of the fish. All right, here we go. Negative 85% on this one. Again, it's sort of just like repeats. I think we've now seen 4 of them at negative 85%. So these are pretty much like the underwhelming ones. I don't exactly remember off the top of my head, but I think that maybe the Azure one, which was 20K, that one maybe was negative 88%. There it is right there. A Scorched Phantom Koi. Getting rid of the mutation on it, this is what it looks like right here. Again, sort of one of those underwhelming ones, but now we get to finally move into the good stuff. On top of that, it also stopped raining finally. It literally was like 3 back-to-back nights of rain. That's kind of what it felt like. Now we've got to take care of the ones in the open ocean. The 3 we're looking for here is the Psychedelic Frogfish, the Toilet Fish, as well as the Doge Fin or the Doge Fish, something along those lines. Oh my God, negative 92%. Brother, that thing is massive. Oh man, I shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that. I meant to say it's huge, chat. It's huge. Actually huge. Even with my stacked up resilience, this one's putting up a nice little fight. I mean, nothing really too crazy. Not enough to cause an incident or anything like that, but I want to talk about the size of this thing. Oh, dude, these slashes are literally carrying me right now. Negative 92% is kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. But there it is right there, the Psychedelic Frogfish. It is literally a fish with a frog head. That is actually demented. By far the most diabolical fish I've ever seen. Now we'll go ahead and do all of the values of the 3 secret fish here at the very end once I've caught them all. Oh, there it is. Toilet Fish. Negative 65%. This one's actually not bad at all. How is this one easier than every single other secret? So far, the hardest one has been the Psychedelic Frog. Which, to be fair, I mean, it is kind of the coolest looking one, at least so far. Nothing really too crazy. I do like it better in its shiny form because it turns the actual toilet gold. Another negative 65% for the Dogekin. Sorry, correction. It is called a Doge Fin, not a Dogekin. And there it is right there. Just a fish with a dog face. Again, rather diabolical. But now this leaves technically my favorite one for last over here at the Cursed Shores. So this is the one that I've actually heard some pretty crazy stories about people actually losing this one. And it's sort of the sole reason why I even stacked up a bunch of resilience. The vast majority, if not every single fish here at the Cursed Shores has negative progression, and they're all just kind of already like sort of absurd. So I definitely want to go ahead and take a look here to see how much this one has. My guess is probably like 98% or something like that. If it hits me with 99%, that's going to be kind of wild. Yep, negative 97% is crazy, bro. I think it's pretty safe to say that if you want to catch some of these secrets and not really have a hard time, use the Azerod, man. This thing is crazy. That high resilience and the slashes are literally lifesavers. We almost got it. There it is right there. It's actually called an Abyssborn monstrosity. I thought it was an abyssal monstrosity. But yeah, man, there it is right there. I don't know why I think this is the coolest one, but personally, I like it the most. But let's take a quick look here and see how much these are worth, because I forgot to check the open sea ones. So we're going to start off with the toilet fish. This one is valued at 8,400. Dogefin is valued at 10,185. Psychedelic frogfish is 10,467, which is a lot lower than I expected considering this has the second highest negative progression speed. And the Abyssborn monstrosity has 20,794, which puts it now as the most expensive secret. Obviously, those prices kind of vary, but overall, man, pretty cool. Like I said at the very start of the video, there is quite a lot of secrets in the second sea. I will go ahead and sort of throw in here that last night they sort of pushed out a big list of bug fixes, given there still is, to my knowledge, a couple of other bugs that are in the game. Starting with one that I actually went ahead and told Noah directly about, which is obviously the Great Dreamer Rod. At the very end here, I'm going to sort of squeeze in on some of the comments from yesterday's video, which people were sort of just speaking the craziest things. And it's sort of just for like a select amount of people. It's usually the people that only come around for the update videos. And then they comment with absolutely no knowledge whatsoever of half of the things that I say in my videos. And on top of that, they also think that I'm a developer, which I'm not. I want to make it very clear that I have little to no input on what goes on. Do I get asked sometimes about certain things about updates? Sure. But 99% of the time that they do ask me, I end up going straight to my Discord server and asking you guys. As a matter of fact, here we are inside of my Discord server, specifically in the news channel. And the last time that I was asked anything about a potential future update was February 19th, where I was asked if it was a smart idea to increase the level cap from 1,000 to what I believe at the time was going to end up being like 1,500. I don't even know. I'd be lying to you if I told you exactly the number, but I was asked if people would want to see a level increase. What did I do? I came straight to my Discord server. I put up a poll. The poll got 4,448 votes, and most of you voted for no. So to represent for my community, I went ahead and went straight to Noah and told him, no, it would not be a good idea. I get that because I sort of, talk about the updates and I am sort of included in the trailers. Someone sort of has to take the blame, but I don't really have too much of a problem with that, to be honest. I just want to make it clear more towards my actual viewers, the people that talk in my Discord server, the people that talk to me. This message is more specifically to you guys, not rather the random people that occasionally come around and drop some negative comments. Either way, I just wanted to go ahead and squeeze that into the end of the video, mainly because I know that the people that are going to see this portion are the people that matter. So I appreciate you guys so much. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow for another daily fish video. Take care, guys.